Mr. Ramesh, I know we're talking about that, but when we look at the IFCs and we look at the financial centers, what role does Trinidad and Tobago Stock Exchange play in all of this?
Now, Trinidad and Tobago Stock Exchange primarily deals in equity trading,
right,
as you know, and it helps to create more capital for companies that are listed on the stock exchange. Now, it is an important dimension of the overall capital market, but it is only one part of the dimension.
Can we handle the load, or can we handle the level of activity we're hoping to generate? If the IFC is fully successful, you've achieved your mandate and you're expecting all this activity to be buzzing, can the stock exchange really facilitate that, our local stock exchange?
This is what we're looking at in the future. Part of our mandate is to develop the capital markets. Mm-hmm. Right now, we're starting with back office operations, and once we secure that, and once we on our path of growth there, then we're looking at the capital markets. We're just not there yet. Remember, the TTIC, even though you have heard about it for many years, it is only this year in March that our minister said we should focus on finance. So basically, we only like virtually 6 months old, and this is our first achievement, and we are heading towards that.
6 months old, and it's interesting that you're celebrating your half-year birthday. But if we look at the timing of coming out with these plans, and the budget is being delivered on Monday morning, what are some of the things we can expect for the financial sector? Mr. Ramesh, what are some of the things that you're hoping to see in the budget to further assist in your mandate?
Yeah, when we did a market study on what the market really needs in order to create this new industry that we are calling as finance, we identified at least 4 or 5 key measures that we need to start looking at. Some of these are, as the chairman said, disincentives that prevent financial institutions from actually establishing their shared services center in Trinidad and Tobago. For instance, the Free Zone Act enables us to actually locate some of these shared services centers in a cost-effective manner inside the free zone. But the moment it is done, it is not able to service the local company without having a VAT component coming into play. So one of the proposals that we have made to the ministry is to see how we can rationalize that so that there is no additional cost burden for the financial institution who is doing this. And some other measures that will help to remove the disincentives so that it becomes more attractive for the financial institutions to take this route.
How do you rate our financial institutions and our financial climate to that of our Caribbean counterparts and internationally as well? We're looking at the developments in the global market. Let's talk about what's happening in the Eurozone, the contagion effect, risk, and reward.
Well, Trinidad is really is considered the hub of the Caribbean,
right,
hub of the Caribbean in the finance market. Now we're trying to make that a reality. It's just talk has been going around, but now the concept of the IFC is now becoming a reality, and we hope to consolidate this. We make this come to fruition.
A regional stock exchange and regional coordination. We're looking at a globally competitive environment, Mr. Ramesh, where everyone is calling for deeper integration, competing on an international level, making the Caribbean more attractive.
Yes.
But also at the same time, we can't do that while making Trinidad less attractive.
That's right.
How are you going to find the balance? And is that even a laudable dream at this time, an achievable dream?
Yes. What we need to recognize, Hema, is that across the region, each country has its own strength, like a West Indies cricket team, so to speak, if I can make an analogy. For instance, Trinidad has a lot of excess liquidity in the system due to our oil and gas revenues. At the same time, there are liquidity shortages in the region, in Jamaica or Barbados, but there may be good investment opportunities in those locations for our investors to take advantage. And that's where a regional stock exchange or a platform through which they can do this comes into play. And what we are hoping to do is to understand how we can create stronger interlinkages between these markets so that capital flows easily, but at the same time, the risk is taken care of as well.
While we are encouraging capital inflows, there's always a risk of capital flight as well that accompanies this. How do you appease and how do you pacify those that may be worried about that?
Well, at the IFC, we are now starting in the back office operations.
Right.
The capital markets, this is our second phase approach of growth. So right now, we're not addressing that just yet.
Okay. Now, Mr. Ramesh, before we wrap this interview, your closing comments, and I would like to tie this into the budget, really. The financial system plays an integral role. We're looking at diversification. I actually was very impressed with your presentation by the Trinidad and Tobago International Financial Center that you made at the Diversification Conference, talking about looking for the opportunities, exploiting them, cluster development. The plans are quite laudable. Are they achievable? What are the strategic timelines that you've set for yourself?
Yeah. The initiative of creating an alternate revenue source for our country is a long-term initiative. It's not going to happen overnight. It is going to take a very, very long time. The investment that we are making now, even though we have achieved certain early successes, such as the MOU with the Scotia Bank, what we are looking at is probably a 5 to 10 year horizon in which we make the financial sector as a second and alternate pillar for our strong economy to grow.
What will be required to make this industry operational and successful?
We need to coordinate with various government agencies to make business accessible and easier to do business in Trinidad and Tobago. I think we have already started that. We have started streamlining, the government has started streamlining the various investment agencies that we have, like NEC will look after energy, TDC will look after tourism, we will look after finance, and InvestTT would look after all others, none in these sectors.
Right.
So it is basically trying to get Trinidad and Tobago easier to do our business.
Ensuring that Trinidad and Tobago is easier to do business and that we are more attractive. The Trinidad and Tobago International Financial Center, establishing financial institution support services. Finesse, I learned a new word there. It's a new entity, about 6 months old. They have a massive, mammoth mandate, of which they are achieving all of their strategic timelines. Looking at this, the financial sector is one of the sectors that has been identified as a key pillar of growth in our diversification thrust. These two men have been charged with responsibility of ensuring that that growth does take place.